Well, one of my first, I guess, Father Mark experiences have been freshman retreat. When, you're up at Legendary and you're hiking to the cross up there on the top of the mountain. And I mean, I had never been dusted by a priest on a hike before, so that was kind of an interesting experience. And I thought, oh, this guy's pretty cool.
Father Mark is amazing. That's you can't put it in any other words. He's great. He's helped me a lot with my development in campus ministry and being a leader and just being there for me for whatever I might need.
I'm pretty sure every time we got up there to say mass at the top of the mountain, he'd stand there, this big old, stick his arms out, this big cassock on, see, squirrel suit, on down the mountain.
One thing that's always really interested me about Father Mark is that he wears a lot of black, and obviously he has his whole priest get up with his collar and everything, but he also just, everything he owns is black or gray. When I went to Rome on pilgrimage with him, he wore like athletic shirts and stuff, and it's super weird to see him outside of that, but I think that kind of speaks to who Father Mark is in that he really tries to not stand out.
He's not afraid to joke in his homilies. Before Mass, he always sets up a nice analogy. Lord of the Rings, Vikings, whatever it is, he's not afraid to throw it out there.
That picture up on the wall there.
Who knows what the picture's for? If anybody understands that, tell me. Yeah.
One word to describe Father Mark. Just the man. The man. That's all I can say. Mind, body, soul, the man.
Holy, prayerful, intentional, dynamic.
The first word that comes to my mind is intense. The second word is intentional. And the third word would be inspiring.
You know, the fact that he mountain bikes and does all these things outside and super active. It's really, I had positive experiences with priests as a kid, you know, at my parish, but I never really had a priest that I could connect with on that physical, loving to be outside, loving to be active.
He's a baller. Like, he's so athletic, gosh.
Well, yeah, on occasion. I mean, I can't really see him because he's, but you know, no.
I hear he's pretty good.
Yeah, no, he's a good basketball player. I've never played with him, but I've seen him play, and it's definitely, jumpers for Jesus is always his line. So.
One of my favorite ones was, gosh, this one Latino priest was giving communion, and this one girl who had the deep V, the very deep V. She was going up to take communion, and I always remember the line. There was a fumble in the exchange of the Eucharist, and it goes down there, and she's like, and there's a moment of silence, and the priest is like, well, what's y'all doing? What are you doing? Go get it. And of course, Father Mark has a great Latino accent I could never duplicate. And she's like, I cannot, he's my Lord. I cannot touch him. Which is great. So then of course she has to be taken back doors and just taken care of. And he's great at telling that story, Iron Blood, whenever he does that.
He has very much a connection to the outdoors, and you know, I can tell that he finds God in nature, and that's important to him. And that's really cool to see, because that's, you know, another area that's important for me.
Wherever you go, you see the impact that Father Mark has made on this campus, especially with the students.
He tries to be a transparent person, and I think that that's a really cool example of service in that, and humility as well.
He starts out with a laugh, and then he brings it in to focus, and he brings it in, you know, to really, I think he has just a really good skill at being able to start out with a laugh, but then really being able to lead up to, you know, a certain point that he wants to make a message that he wants to convey, and he conveys it very well.
I've been on every retreat I possibly could ever partake in at my town in Carroll, and just him, and he's always there. He's like, it's just not a retreat without Father Mark. He's the centerpiece. Well, at the same time, he is the centerpiece, but he makes sure the students are the leaders, so we are the centerpiece.
Father Mark stands out in my life to me as definitely a guide.
But his influence and the graces that God has given him is apparent on the actions and the lives of everyone else, and in turn gets put upon, is given back to me. So it's really cool that he has that huge influence at Carroll that he can give out to other people, which in turn makes me a better person.
At the same time, not only can he connect, but then he, very prayerful and just a very intentional faith life that is, very deep, and you can just tell that he has a very strong relationship with Christ. And, it pushes you to go deeper in your faith, I feel like.
I mean, a lot of people joke that Father Mark is superhuman in that, like, he barely eats, he barely sleeps, he just can run on nothing, and he, like, reads books like people eat Oreos and all this stuff, and he's superhuman in a lot of ways, and I think what he shows us in that is that it's accessible.
Just very much inspires me and pushes me to be a better person, whatever I'm called to do every day. So you can't help but see someone like that and then want to emulate that, because he lives with such joy, I feel like, in that, he's loving his job, loving what he's doing, loving the people that are around him. There may be times that are hard, times where he doesn't get a lot of sleep or whatever, but he has just a way of being able to connect and live his life with joy that's just really kind of awe-inspiring, awesome.
One of the great moments I had with him was the developing of my story, my walk with God. He had a big part in that, and he gave me this one Bible verse. I believe it was in Matthew, and it was all about bearing the cross that God gives you, even though you don't want it, you need to bear it, because that's what God has given to you. And that was huge for me in understanding my struggles, and it was so cool of him to just give that to me, make sure that I was okay, and I was able to put into words how I was feeling about my faith.
Go to a college like this is like unlike any other opportunity you'll ever have. It gives you, like, I graduated, but the fuel that going to a college like this with a priest like him has will last forever. Just catapult me into my future.
Just seeing him live his vocation, but still be, just the same guy and interested in the same, things that I would be interested in. It's really cool to see.
I worked with him for 2 years as a Kirkin peer minister, and he is such a teacher and so scholarly, and he really helped me learn what it means to be disciplined towards the practice of faith, and how you can grow through those disciplines.
That's really cool that he can balance mind, body, and soul. Like, he's also a smart guy. Like, every mass, he's doing those Latin translation stuff, picking apart words. It's so great.
I personally grew up with a single parent, a single mom, and so I don't have very many father figures in my life, and I know that Father Mark, I consider him to be a father figure for me. My personal relationship was a result of those kinds of things, and I am forever grateful for my personal relationship with God, and I think Father Mark has a really unique way of relating to people, and just showing them what they're capable of.
I admire him, and I hope I can be like half the man that he is someday. He's got it all knocked down. It's great.
Father Mark, you have been there for me through a lot, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Father Mark.
Father Mark, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. You are the man. You've changed my life and all the lives of many people on this campus. So just thank you so much. God bless, and you're great.
Thanks, Padre, for all you do for the faith community here at Carroll and for the Catholic Church as a whole. Appreciate it.